did this last block to I guess the Wi-Fi just doesn't follow today. Okay, we're back. When we are talking about population, there are two major types of modeling. One is our exponential growth model, which is the graph on the most right. The second one is our logistic growth model, and that is the left graph. So there are two major calculations. There's one that's the population growth rate, which is the number of offspring an individual can produce in a given time period, minus the deaths of the individual or its offspring during the same time period. And then our second one is our intrinsic growth rate, so the maximum potential for growth of a population under ideal conditions with unlimited resources. Now this is very much theoretical, or an estimate of that. Okay? You don't often see this with ideal conditions and unlimited resources in nature. Okay? So this one is going to be more tightly connected to your exponential graph. Questions about these two graphs? Also, I realized that I flipped some of them, so these two are on the following page. If you had questions? Does this make sense? In models? So a lot of times when you have populations, you're going to see a lot of different models. Now models are not always correct, but they do give you insight into how populations function, or what the composition of the population can be. That's on the 2 slides. So it's the next slide. That's what I was telling you, it's like the next slide. Alright, so this is just showing you an exponential graph. So here you have population size going from 0 and up, and then you have time for convention. Okay? So this is just showing you that with unlimited resources and ideal conditions, the population could technically infinitely grow, like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will never stop. In reality, that doesn't happen. We somehow, like, at some point, you run out of resources, or you hit your carrying capacity, and the environment's like, nope, no more. Okay. So this is what you're more likely going to see when you're talking about population. And that's our logistic growth model. So that's the spot that you mentioned. This is one under growth model. So our logistic growth model describes a population whose growth is initially exponential, but slows as the population approaches the carrying capacity of the environment. It's also known as an S-shaped curve. As you can see, it kind of looks like an S. A little stretched out, but still is. Okay. So, as you can see down at the bottom, right, there is early growth is exponential. Midway through, you start getting a slowing of growth, And then your growth will actually level out to 0 so that you have a stable population. Now these carrying capacities are going to change based on your environment and based on the species that you're looking at. So, when we have food that becomes scarce or other conditions change, populations can experience fluctuations. And there's two main things. So say there is an increase of food, you're going to have an overshoot because there's more than enough resources for every single organism. And so they're going to survive, they're going to reproduce. But if the opposite happens, then you have a die-off, where food becomes too scarce, right? Your organisms are not going to be able to survive, therefore they're not going to be able to reproduce. Now, your carrying capacity is the limit of how many individuals in a population the environment can withstand, or can be sustained. I have 3 more slides, and then we'll take a break. So, this is showing you a graph of what type of organism is this? Moose. A moose, yeah. So this is a population, a sample population of moose. Okay. So data collection began roughly in 1910, ended in around 1950 for this example. As you can see, this dashed orange line is going to be your exponential growth model. The blue line is going to be what actually happened in reality. Okay? So as you can see, the environment is able to easily withstand the 400, 800, 1,000, up to roughly 2,000, and then there was a die-off. What might have caused that die-off? It's okay.
Not me.
I know. Things have been acting really weirdly today, so it's good. All right, what might have caused that die-off?
Overpopulation, lack of resources.
Overpopulation, lack of resources, lack of food. Yeah. What else? Natural disaster. Maybe there was a flood or a fire, right, that killed a lot of them, right? Yeah. So we don't know specifically, but those are 2 really good theories. Okay. Now, this is just showing you that it does occur, like die-offs do occur. For real? Okay. So, I'm gonna have to draw this last part. This is so great.
What was the power miss? Mine went out too.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So I'm gonna draw a graph. Okay. Roughly, we're going to have time and our population size. So, when we have our population, say it's like growing, growing like this, increasing, and then I'm going to stop it there just for right now. And then we'll have our carrying capacity, like roughly right here. So this is our K value. These lines probably aren't straight, but whatever. Alright, so, this is a rough, very rough graph, okay? You have your population increasing and growing. However, when you're right close to your carrying capacity, there's actually, even though generally like you see a straight line like that, that doesn't happen, okay? That is your model, not the reality of the populations. And so what you're going to end up seeing when you actually have data that shows this is that it's going to be an overshoot, a die-off, an overshoot, a die-off, overshoot, a die-off. And you're going to keep oscillating pretty much on forever until that organism ends up like becoming extinct. Okay? So this is what the actual like reality happens, because you always have, if you have a little bit more resources, then the organisms are going to survive more, reproduce more, and then it's going to then affect how many, like, if you have more organisms, then you have less resources, right, for each organism. So it's going to continuously oscillate. It never actually reaches carrying capacity. Okay? All right. So the last slide that was going to happen, oh, I guess Wi-Fi is off now. That's great. Okay. So the last slide is just a question. Awesome. Actually, I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. That's what it looks like. An actual graph. That's pretty nice. Alright, so that's what it actually looks like on the slides. But our last question for the day. What does it mean for a population to be affected by density-dependent factors? Think about it, and then share out some ideas. And if you can, put it in your own words. You can talk.
I think this
like food and water, like the natural resources.
It's either overshoot or that's
I was thinking about like environment.
so that's the other one. Because that
Alright. A couple people share out what they're doing.
I think she said that.
What are you thinking about that question?
Increase.
Are y'all gonna answer? Like,
Oh, you asked us.
yeah, I'm asking you all. Like, what were you talking about? What were you thinking? Overpopulation. Sure, right? Overpopulation. There's a really, really big population, right? That's going to be possibly like a disease could spread faster and kill more of those organisms, right? Density dependent. Yeah, totally. What else? What else were you thinking?
Species survival, or you can they're dependent on the amount of the species that there are, because that'll correlate to the amount of resources that they have.
Okay. So are you thinking more like competition? Like within the species?
Yeah.
Okay, so like competition for limited resources. Yeah. That is very much density dependent, because there's only a certain amount of resources that can be used by a certain number of people, or a number of those individuals within a species. Yeah. Alright, so I know we didn't finish the lecture for today. There's a lot more to talk about, so I'm just going to stop there And then the rest of class will be for you to start working on your vocab. If you want actual vocab cards, I have some. They're like tiny little mini ones. Let me know.